how we all doing? Welcome back to Premier League Dad. My name is Key. We are live tonight for the Copa del Rey round of 16. Racing Santander against Barcelona in the it's at the Estadio El Sardinero. The Verde Blancos against Barcelona, and it's going to be an interesting one tonight after Real Madrid go crashing out of the Copa del Rey tonight, or last night rather, against Albacete. It's going to be a really interesting one. Do Barca take this one? Are they cautious? I mean, the lineups are very, very interesting. I've got to say, we'll go through the lineups. In fact, I'm on the wrong phone. I need to go on this one. We'll go through the lineups. Because I was really interested tonight whether or not Barcelona would look at that Real Madrid game last night and think, do you know what? I think that we need to go strong, because we don't want headlines. Headlines last night with Real Madrid. We don't want headlines with Barcelona tonight. The headlines write themselves with this one, don't they? Let's be honest. The headlines are there, ready for Barcelona. If they don't go through tonight, they're going to get an absolute pelter from the Barcelona support. So, Hansi Flick has gone somewhat strong tonight, it must be said. He started with Joan Garcia, Balde, Martin, Kabasi and Koundé, which is pretty much... Well, it's not Martin. Martin wasn't in there, but it's a pretty much similar lineup to what was in the Supercopa de España against Real Madrid. Midfield is Olmo, Casado and Bernal. Again, he's rotated a little bit, but not heavily. Olmo, I think, usually will start in midfield for Barca. And then you've got Rashford, Ferran Torres and Lamine Yamal does start. So Lamine Yamal's in there, Rashford's in there, Torres is in there, Lewandowski on the bench. I really thought we'd see Rooney Bardghji tonight. Starting, but Araujo is on the bench. New signing, João Cancelo is on the bench too, as is Fermin, Eric Garcia, Lewandowski, Pedri, Rafinha, Szczesny and Ter Stegen. De Jong is out as a result of the red card that he got against Real Madrid, so he's not in there. Obviously, we know that Christensen and Gavi's still out with those knee injuries. And for Racing Santander, we'll go through Santander's lineup. Ezquieta in goal, Mantilla, Castro, Manu and Garcia at the back. It's Kamara, Aldasoro, Gay and Sainz Maza in the midfield area. And then up front, it's Juan Arana, who has yet to score for Racing Santander this season, and Georgi Guliashvili, who I think I am right in saying is making his debut tonight. Georgi Guliashvili, who has joined from Sarajevo in the Bosnia and Herzegovina League. He's been one of the better players there. Got 21 goals and assists in 26 last year, so he's still only 24, so maybe one to keep an eye on. Georgi Guliashvili coming to Racing Santander, probably in the expectation that they will be a La Liga side next year. But listen, first up, I do just want to say, before we get stuck into the game and we talk through tactics and who's going to play where and what the sort of repercussions of this massive game could be, I do just want to say a massive thank you to our new sponsors. You may have already spotted them down here. Whereabouts are they? They're this side. There you go. I want to say a massive thank you to our new sponsors on the channel, Midnight. Midnight are supporting this live and the lives for the rest of January on Premier League Dad. So if you do want to say a big thank you to them, then you can go and do so and help yourself as well. Bet £10, get £30 in free bets. If you like a bet, if you like a flutter, obviously 18 plus only, new customers only, terms and conditions apply, all that stuff. But Midnight are sponsoring Premier League Dad. They are helping us as we continue our growth. And if you want to go and say thank you to them and get yourself a handy 30 quid in free bets, head over there. The link is in the description. It's also in the chat. You can go and get £30 in free bets. Can't say fairer than that. They're an absolutely great bunch of guys to work with as well. And they're sponsoring the channel for the rest of January. Maybe beyond, who knows. But listen, yeah, if you want to go and do that, and you can go and do that, the link is in there. Maybe go and get a bet on for tonight's game. In fact, I was going to put it on for this one, but I don't think I've got time now because we're on 8 o'clock. But we will going forward. Who have we got tomorrow night? We've got West Brom and Middlesbrough tomorrow night, so we'll do it for West Brom Borough tomorrow night. West Brom Borough, we'll do a midnight bet. I'll show you my bet. We'll do it together. Right. Now, with that said, let's get going. let's get going because we are off and underway. I need to get the clock going. Excuse me. I need to turn my volume down. Come on, Key, sort it out. 3-star, absolutely echo that 3-star. 1-0 to Como already in the other game at AC Milan. Wow. The Racing Santander Barcelona game has been delayed. Thought we were off and underway, but we're not. It's still delayed by 15 minutes. There you go. It's been delayed by 15 minutes, this one. We needn't have worried. We needn't have rushed. Maybe I'll keep an eye out on Como then. This one, by the way, if you are wanting to watch along, the game is on Premier Sports 1. Premier Sports 1, if you've got it, it's Amazon. You have to go to Amazon Prime, Premier Sports 1, and you can subscribe. If that's your thing. But I've got Premier Sports 1 on, that's where I'm watching it tonight. So hopefully, if you want to watch along too, then you can do. Jabatwadi, howdy, how's it going? Sarah, 3-star, lots of love, how you doing? Bentam Goal says, my favourite team is Real Madrid. Arab Gaxa says, up Barcelona. What are your predictions in the chat? In fact, do you know what? We've not even done a poll for tonight. Key, what are you doing? Let's do a poll. Let's start a poll. The game doesn't kick off for 15 minutes. Forza Barca. Right, so it's going to be a Racing Santander win. A draw, extra time, and possibly penalties, or is it going to be a Barcelona win? You have to let me know. Get them in the chat, get your answers in the poll, get your comments in the chat, get your predictions in. Sarah says, can we smash the likes and subscribe? Yeah, please do. If you're new around here, I will just, again, I don't spend an awful lot of time on the whole self-promotion thing, but if you are new around here, couple of things for me if you can. First off, my name's Key. I'm live every single day. I watch games of football all over the world. And that's what we do on this channel. We've got a fantastic bunch of people in the chat who support clubs all over the world and up and down the English football pyramid. We don't just watch English football, as tonight proves, but tomorrow we are watching West Brom against Middlesbrough. We're going to be doing the AFCON final on Sunday. We've done most of the AFCON games in this tournament, as well as all the big games in the Premier League, the Champions League, and all that good stuff. So if you like watch-alongs, then make sure you've hit that like button and you've subscribed, because I'm live every single day. But the next thing I want to talk to you about is Racing Santander. I want to talk to you about Santander because Albacete sprung a shock last night on Real Madrid. And Santander are top. They are top of La Liga 2. They are heavily favoured to come up to La Liga next season. And I would they knocked Villarreal, they beat in the last round, which again was a bit of a shock. Villarreal going good in La Liga themselves, and Racing Santander knocked them out. Arana with the goals. Juan Arana, who is starting again up front tonight. He scored both goals. He's not scored any in the league, but he scored in the cup. There you go. Relatively prolific in the cup, but not very good in the league, Juan Arana for Santander. But they knocked Villarreal out. Before that, it was Ponferradina. And they've got a pretty decent record, as I say. In La Liga 2, they are top, albeit on goal difference ahead of Las Palmas. But I'll be honest, I would fully expect both of them to come up. I can't see anyone other than Las Palmas and Santander being in La Liga next year. At least in the automatic spots. Right, so apologies. TikTok, let me catch up with you. I'm not ignoring your TikTok, I promise. There's still 9 minutes to go. The game has been delayed by 15 minutes. So if you're waiting on me, it isn't me. The game has been delayed. Bentam Goal says 2-1 to Racing. Come on, Racing. Twisted Fate, I love underdogs, so come on, Racing. Dandog, which was worse, Palace's loss in the FA Cup or Real Madrid's loss in the Copa del Rey? Palace's loss in the FA Cup. Yeah, definitely Palace's. Palace's loss was poor. Real Madrid's was bad, but Palace's was pretty bad. I love underdogs. Ooh, yeah, so Twist, that's why you're a United fan then. Wait, she's absolutely had you there. when it comes to United, we should be beating everyone. Have you seen what Roy Keane said about United today, by the way? Was it today or yesterday on the overlap? He's had a right go at United again. Cancelo will never score. He's a flop, says Bentangol. How much have Barcelona paid for him, by the way? How much of was it quite a lot? I haven't seen. But yeah, listen. Let's talk about the big news in football that has been on everyone's lips in the last few days. Anyway, has been Michael Carrick. Not only Real Madrid crashing out of the Copa del Rey, but Michael Carrick replacing Ruben Amorim as the interim coach of Manchester United, I guess. I mean, obviously he's a slightly longer interim than Darren Fletcher was. So he's the interim. Fletcher was the interim, and now he's the interim. But Gary Neville has suggested that there's 3 names that he wants to replace Michael Carrick in the summer. And he has given 3 names: Pochettino, Ancelotti, Tuchel. How do those resonate with people? Especially if you're a United fan. I'm really intrigued to hear what you think of that one. I'll be honest, I don't see Ancelotti managing at club level again. I think he's quite comfortable. And he's got to that point now, Ancelotti, where he's done everything he can do at club level, hasn't he? He's international. He's now looking to win a World Cup or something big, and Brazil's the place to do it. Twisted Faces, I would say it's more a caretaker, to be honest, Key. A caretaker, and on a Permo says none of them will take the job. I think Tuchel would fancy it. Tuchel had a sit down apparently with Jim Ratcliffe. I don't think Tuchel would take it. I don't know, I think Tuchel would be up for it. I really do. Lisha says on a free Adzo, do you think clubs will be looking at Fabregas in the summer? He's doing a superb job at Como. I am absolutely certain they will be looking at him. Would he leave Como for anything other than an absolute top tier job though? Because he's at Como. This is always the risk with young managers. He has got such a perfect setup at Como. He literally gets whatever he wants. He's like the master of his own destiny. He's the big fish in the small pond almost. Not to be too insulting to Como, but he is the big fish in the small pond. He's been a fabulous player and Premier League legend. He could come back and manage. He could probably replace Pep at City, but that would be a very underwhelming appointment, wouldn't it? But I feel like that's the sort of job that Fabregas would need to leave Como for. He's not going to leave for again, it sounds like I'm being disrespectful, but I don't think Fabregas leaves for a Spurs. I also don't think he leaves for a Chelsea. I don't think he leaves for anything other than Arsenal or City. Maybe a Liverpool, but I don't really think Liverpool suits him either. So maybe an Arsenal or a City. I think they are the only 2 that Fabregas would leave for in the Premier League. I think he's looking at a Barcelona job. I think he's probably next in line for Hansi Flick. He's maybe a PSG boss if Luis Enrique leaves. That would maybe be a good fit. That might be a good step up. Luis Enrique leaves and he steps in. That could make sense. Jabber says none of them would want to be a head coach. Well, and this is it again. That's the nuance, isn't it? Are they going to want to come in as a head coach, not as a manager, not have that responsibility, and kind of be forced to work with a Barada, a Jason Wilcox, and get given players? Ancelotti certainly isn't, is he? If Ancelotti's coming in, he knows what players he wants, and I don't think United are necessarily committed to buying those types of players. Twisted Fate, sir, we are in a bad patch at United. Big difference from being underdogs. Underdogs are teams like Macclesfield, Millwall, etc. Nobody realistically calls United underdogs unless they're trying to troll. And Shamner says, Man United want a manager who will take instructions from the top. None of the big managers will ever come on those terms. That's, again, very fair point, fair assessment. Wonder says, good afternoon, stranger. Good to see you. How you doing? Lots of love. Bentham Goal says the best comeback was Barca v Liverpool. It was 3-0 Barca. Liverpool came back to win 4-3. Absolutely. The Parisian powerhouse. Love that, mate. Great name. Iraola is Man City's next manager. Iraola. Again, has he done enough in the game to prompt the City job? Very good manager. Very likeable. I really love his style of play. I think he's very aggressive. Very progressive as well as a manager. He's bit of a pioneer in some ways, but a very, very good manager. I'm not entirely sure whether or not he's a Manchester City manager yet. 3-star Fabregas at Forest, maybe, with the Edu connection. Fabregas at Forest. And Finners says, do you know why the game is delayed? I've no idea. The players are about to come out, though. They are about to head out onto the pitch. You have got time if you want to turn over to Premier Sports 1. That's where this game is being broadcast. So you are more than welcome to check in over there on Premier Sports and watch it with me. Adam says, could Mark Gay leave in January? Allegedly, no. Allegedly, Mark Gay has said, if you listen to The Athletic, he's not interested in leaving in January at all. And he's also said to Manchester City, who have come in strong for him in January. Again, this is based on The Athletic. It's not based on me knowing anything in particular. But The Athletic have said that Gay was approached by City and City were told by him or his representatives, I've no interest in going anywhere in January. I'm staying at Palace until the summer, and then my preference is to go to Liverpool. How true that is, I'm not sure. Zutti says, Como play some good stuff under Fabregas. Clubs will be all over him soon. And Maresca is the successor to Pep, says Adam464. That wouldn't be a surprise either. Yeah, Maresca's certainly... I feel like Maresca's maybe more likely to work within that framework. You know, the Wilcox, the Barada. I feel like he probably would be inclined to go to United, actually. Yeah. In fact, I'm almost certain that is exactly who replaces Carrick. It's Enzo Maresca. And the only reason he's not gone in there right now is because he's wanting a bit of time off after Chelsea. He just wants the summer. Give me a bit of time. I'll chill. Big Dunk, how's it going, mate? Good to see you. Alonso will be the new Liverpool manager. No chance. Arne Slot will be Liverpool manager next year. I promise you that. Jake, high key thoughts on the final on Sunday. Great game, wasn't it? 3-2 Barca. Real Madrid were pretty poor. I think it's a shame for Xabi Alonso, but I think it was the right thing to get rid of him. As much for him as it was for Madrid. There's too many prima donnas in there. He's not a big enough personality yet. He's not experienced enough yet to command that dressing room, maybe in the same way that a Klopp, an Ancelotti would. And it's going to take a hell of a personality to walk in there, by the way, with Bellingham, Mbappe, Vinny. You know, these are players who they're not humble and let's work for the team, all that nonsense. There's literally a clip came out today, and well, it's the first time I've seen it today, but it was posted today, of Luis Enrique basically screaming at Mbappe and saying, you've got to work harder, you've got to get back and do the defensive side of things. We know you're world class going forward with the ball, but you've got to be a great team player. You've got to set the standard. You've got to be a leader and get back. And this is something that if you've got to drill that into Kylian Mbappe, don't matter how good you are as a player. You've got to work hard, haven't you? Zutti says Liverpool linked with Jan Diamand again, along with other clubs. Jan Diamand as well, absolutely, yes. Has also said, hasn't he, that he is very, very interested in joining Liverpool. Shamner says Man United have just sacked a manager who plays a back three. Now fans are talking Oliver Glasner from Palace, who also plays a back three. Crazy, yeah. Again, if they didn't give Amorim what he wanted to play the back three, are they likely to give Glasner what he wants to play a back three? Although it could also be said that the only reason they sacked Amorim in the end was because of what he said, and, you know, it wasn't actually anything to do with football. Wanderless. Oh yes, sorry. To answer your question, Wanderless, yes. That is the sponsor, yes. And you can find out more in the description or in the pinned comment link on the chat. Twisted Fate, I would happily take Maresca Key. He's a good manager and coach, but Chelsea board have too much power when allowing medical team to pick players' minutes. And the Parisian powerhouse says Real Madrid will never be the biggest team in the world for me. That's why we sold Mbappe. He was brilliant, but mentality's a clown. Mbappe peaked too early, says Jabba Twadi. Lisha says, to be fair, I would have loved a success story with Zidane at Trafford. However, he's waiting for the France job after the World Cup. What about Deschamps then? Is there a world where maybe Didier Deschamps comes to the Premier League? Or is that, again, a crossover from national manager to club manager that just doesn't quite work, doesn't quite fit? Lemode says, come on, Barca. Well, we are off and underway here at the Estadio El Sardinero Racing Santander, Real Racing Club against Barcelona. Let me know your predictions for this one. Come on. R7, how's it going, mate? Thank you for the chat. Okay, there you go. Adam says, no, I absolutely get the other app might not, but that's why I'm not speaking. It's purely there. We do the speech before, and then we do the speech at the end, and the other app can be legged. The Parisian powerhouse says, take Joachim Löw. Might have poo on his fingers, but he's all right. And Twisty said there's rumours about Nagelsmann wanting the United job, Key. No. Listen, Nagelsmann, I don't get why anyone would want Julian Nagelsmann. The guy took a managerial job, the German national team at 37 years of age. It's crazy to me. That's a time when you've got to be building your reputation. You don't take a cushy international job. 1-1 in this game, says Shamna. Ahmad Jallo says Barcelo. 10k. Cheers, Isaac. Oh, well, there you go. Congratulations to us all. We've hit 10k on the channel. Hey, fantastic. Let's see. Here's to 20. Here's to 50. Let's go again. Reece says, do we think Rashford joins Barca permanently in the summer? I think so. I would think so. I tell you what, Santander down the right-hand side already looking sharp. Barcelona, they've got a corner here, Santander. Thank you, everyone. Cheers, on a Permo. Cheers, Rupert. Cheers, Sarah. Thank you. Lots of love. Right, corner kick. By the way, just a heads up, can we just say this in the chat if you're watching along? Premier Sports is broadcast via Amazon Prime, which means it comes in via the internet, which means there's about a 60-second delay on what I'm watching versus any notifications that people might get. So, for this game, people in the chat might know about goals before I do. So I'm gonna try and stay away from it as much as I possibly can. But yeah, Rashford to Barcelona. Apparently that's already started. It's already talking. So there's already talks happening with that one. Albeit Barcelona do not want to take him on the fee that Manchester United requested. Cheers, Wanderless. Twisted Fate, congratulations, Key, even if you do support the wrong red team. Whoa, Joan Garcia came out. Reese, I was wondering why I was a couple of seconds ahead of you, Key. Yeah, I was going to say it's because Premier Sports 1 is broadcast via Amazon, or at least it is in my house anyway. I've not got it on... Can you get it on a terrestrial link up? I hope you can. Well, either way, I've subscribed through Amazon Prime. If I can get it via... Do you know, I might even... I'm not going to do it now. I'm not going to do it now because I'll probably end up scuppering the stream. But I'm going to look and see if I can get it as like a... Because if it just comes in via the Virgin or the Skybox, then you can... It's basically synced up in real time, innit? Sarah says, I'm only 20 seconds in front of you, but like you said, it's streaming. So annoying. Kind of is what it is, though. Reese, I have it on the totally legitimate Fire Stick. You've got it on a Fire Stick and you've got it, you're faster than me. And I'm here paying for it like some sort of mug. You've got it on the old dodgy stick. I don't even know how much we pay for it. Is it like $8.99? It might even be more than that now. Just stupid. When I started this channel, I ended up just buying like DAZN and Premier Sport. I was like, I'm going to need them. Life of Justin. How's it going, mate? Good to see you. Crystal Aktishi says Visca Barca. Twisted Fate says, yeah, news came out weeks ago that they want to keep Rashford. Even Barca fans are happy with him. So we'll see what happens. Let's see. 46, that's a bargain. There's Deco in the crowd. Deco now responsible for a lot of Barca's strategic approach football-wise. So, yeah, he's there. The Parisian powerhouse. When will you watch PSG? We are watching PSG in the Champions League coming up soon, I'm sure. Have we got PSG in the Champions League soon? I don't think we've got any Ligue 1 games done this season. We did a lot of PSG last season, but we haven't watched a lot of Ligue 1 this year on this channel. I don't think we watched any of. Have we watched any of Ligue 1 in the last few months? I don't think we have. But we will, I'm sure, watch quite a bit of PSG before the end of the season. Don't worry, we tended to cover a fair bit of everyone. It'd be weird if we got through a full season and we've watched the Finnish League, the Latvian League, the Saudi Pro League, but actually no PSG. So I am sure we will make time for PSG, I promise you. Life of Justin says, G'day Key, perfect time to time in here from Australia, just after 7 a.m. Lovely jubbly. Just after 7 a.m. Perfect. You having some nice breakfast out in Australia? The Parisian powerhouse says, my favourite Prem team is Liverpool. Inspiring team. You'll never walk alone. My favourite team too, the Parisian powerhouse. We're kindred spirits, me and you. Have I got my PSG shirt behind me? I've not. I've got a lovely PSG shirt I could show you. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, I don't know where it is. I've got a lovely old PSG shirt with Ronaldinho on the back. Jake, I've been hearing Van der Ven wants to join Liverpool. No idea how true it is, but would you take him at Liverpool? Of course, yeah, I'd take Van der Ven at Liverpool. Wouldn't you? I'd take him. Worst team to support. Ball down the right-hand side with Koundé. Koundé pulls it back, and Dani Olmo couldn't quite get a touch on it. It's gone behind for a corner to Barca. John Brady, what's the best retro Liverpool shirt? Probably this one just over my right shoulder. I don't know if you can see it. You probably can't because it's because of the chat, because of the thingy. Let me see if I can get it for you. See that? That's my favourite retro Liverpool shirt. It's not just a block. There is the full shirt there. Like, it is a proper shirt. But that's just a display case. But that's my favourite Liverpool shirt. Retro Liverpool shirt. Racing Santander now driving into the box. Chance. Oh, that's poor from them. That's very poor. Van der Ven, I would take him at Liverpool, and Virgil as centre-back. Nobody's getting past that. Pace and power. Twisted Face says Van der Ven is honestly handicapped at Spurs. He's such a good defender, but looks bad in certain games because he's doing everything. And Deeper Greener Pasture says, Key, you need an Arsenal shirt on your wall. I have actually got an Arsenal shirt. I promise, I have got one. It's the old yellow and blue one. Do you remember when Arshavin scored 4 at Anfield? I've got that one. That's the only Arsenal shirt I've got. But I would never put it behind me. Here's Dani Olmo. Ball into the box. Oh, unlucky. Nearly caught the keeper out at the front post there. Barca very nearly taking an early lead. And, hey, there he is. Mick, how you going, Mick? How's things, mate? Good to see you. Reese, are we surprised that Unai Simon is still Spain's #1 and not Raya? Oh, listen to him. Here we go. The Arsenal fans filtering in the chat. Mick92, how are we, lad? I'm good, mate. How are you? I'm very good. Yeah, very, very good. And John, talk of Eric Dyer for Liverpool. Do you know what? That sounds like a wind-up, but I'm not even kidding. He might be a genuine short-term option for us. On a permo, Raya is an incredible keeper, so Unai Simon must be a phenom. Do you know what? Unai Simon, I watched him last year. Chance! Oh, it must be! How's that stayed out, Danny Olmo? Oh, how has he not put that in? Danny Olmo, you have got to be kidding me. It's a fabulous... Who puts that ball in? Is that Rashford? Oh, my God. Rashford absolutely has to start on that left-hand side for England. He absolutely has to start. Honestly, Harry Kane would eat that up all day. You want to see the ball. If you aren't watching this game, you want to see the cross that Rashford has just put in then. It's absolute meat and drink for centre-forwards. Chris Povey, hello, mate. How are you? I am amazing, mate. I am fantastic today. How are you? More importantly, Mick says coming down with something. Don't know what it is, but we move. Do you know what? Everyone's had something like that in the last couple of weeks. I feel like everyone's been poorly. I've been poorly. A couple of days ago, you might have seen me. I was on the stream. I look like not Adrian Mole. What was his name? But I had loads of zits on my face. I look like a 14-year-old again and just... dead, like, I just look dead run down and washed out, maybe even more so than I normally do. But yeah, got over that now. I'm fine now again. Just have some soup, have some tomato soup. Watch some comfort TV, watch some junk. Watch me. Chill out with me for a night and have some tomato soup. Sounds like a date. Hey, Creed Van Crow, Key, you legend. Reese, new sponsor. Yeah, new sponsor, mate. Can't mention him though. Otherwise we get a 72-hour leg. Watching you for a bit, lad. Good lad. How'd you fancy Everton against Villa this weekend while you're on, Mick? Let's get the view from Everton for the Everton-Villa game Villa-Everton, it's at Villa Park, isn't it? Villa-Everton this weekend. Barca are in, good defending from Santander. Finnis says, did you see the Bologna score? I haven't seen the Bologna score, no. Jabatuadi as well. I want to get your take on the Everton-Villa game. Keywords is Arsenal kit to bed. Scurrilous rumours that have never been proven. And they never will. Unless the wife comes on. Reese says Unai Simon is the same level as Andre Onana. Unai Simon, I've watched. He was terrible against United in the semi last year. But when I watched him against Real Madrid, Bilbao against Madrid, that guy was unbelievable. Like 5 or 6 top quality saves right out of the top drawer. And then at the end, Real Madrid end up winning it 1-0 with a worldie. Jabber says, I predict a loss this Sunday for Everton at Villa Park. And Ronnie Dodge says, West Ham are going to beat Tottenham at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Finners, Matti, Como are all over Milan. And Serra says, we need Everton to win that one. I can't see Everton getting anything at Villa Park, sadly. And that's not me just having a go at Mick and Jabber, because I like them a lot. Good Everton fans. But no, I don't see Everton really getting anything at Villa, sadly. D says, why after a player's had his medical can there be a delay? I don't know. Why? Who's had a medical and there's a delay? It was 3-2 Bologna. Shamner says the word out of Carrington is that Jason Wilcox will be shown the door soon. For who though? It's just a constant cycle of changes in direction. Oh, I'm sure Manchester United's owners are basic. I mean, to be honest, most millionaires aren't they? Billionaires, whatever. They are just like, it isn't working. Shiny, shiny, shiny. Have a look over here. Something shiny and new. There's no patience. There's no, let's work at it. Let's see. Let's give it a bit of time to settle in. There's none of that. Wonder LS, what was your thoughts on yesterday's game? I wasn't able to watch, unfortunately. Which one? The Senegal v Egypt game was dire. And I mean dire. And to be honest, the Morocco versus Nigeria game was also dire. There was only one goal and a penalty shootout which decided him. A very late goal in the Senegal game. It was a good goal, but it was awful, that game. Terrible, terrible game, Senegal v Egypt. And Morocco, Nigeria. Again, decided by poor penalty shootouts. But the Chelsea-Arsenal game was all right. Yeah. Again, Robert Sanchez letting Chelsea down. It's a tale of the season, I think, really, for Chelsea. But yeah, Chelsea's goalkeeper, Chelsea's defence, not very, very good. Ronnie says, I don't rate Conor Gallagher. He's on par with Agate in terms of his ability on the ball. Oh, I think that's very harsh. I mean, they play quite different positions, Gallagher and Agate. Gallagher is a little bit more forward-thinking. Agate, remarkably, is for a midfielder that's supposed to, one, have an engine, and two, tackle and win the ball. He doesn't do either particularly well. He doesn't seem to cover ground an awful lot well, and he doesn't really seem to, put the tackles in, put his foot in, get blocks in. He doesn't seem to do an awful lot of that well, in my opinion. But Conor Gallagher, yeah, I think he arrives late in the box. He can score. He's almost better as like a Frank Lampard type, Conor Gallagher. He needs to play a bit further forward. I think sometimes teams have made mistakes in trying to play him deeper. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. It'll be interesting to see exactly how he fares at Spurs. So Jim is impatient. Cecil says, hello, Key. Did you enjoy the Arsenal game yesterday? I thought it was great. I'm not surprised you did, given you're an Arsenal fan. I'm sure you did think it was great. I thought it was okay as well. It was an interesting game, if nothing else. $1 billion Zimbabwe dollars, of course. As a billionaire myself, I can confirm the Magpie Syndrome. Magpie Syndrome, I like that. I've never heard it called that. I'll remember that. Sorkin says 3 teams from the 3rd division in Spain have knocked out La Liga teams. 3 La Liga teams. Who's the 3 teams from the 3rd division in Spain? The 3rd division? Who's the 3rd division? Has Valencia been beaten tonight? Who are Valencia? Valencia were playing... who have Valencia got tonight? Have they already played? No, they're still playing, aren't they? Burgos. Yeah, and they're 1-0 up. Valencia 1-0 up against Burgos. Yeah, who's the other sides who've been knocked out? Alaves beating Rayo. Yeah, who's the other side who's knocked out? Who are we on about? Far post. Oh, Santander, very nearly. Good effort. Very good effort. It's 1-1 in the Milan v Como game. Still very early on in this one. Dan Dimbo. I see Paqueta moving to Flamengo but getting loaned back till West Ham to the end of the season. Again, I'm not sure about that. I think he's desperate to get away from West Ham. Sorkin, it was the last round. The last round. So in the last round, who knocked who out? Not in the quarters. Sorry, not in the round of 16. In the 32. Baleares. Yeah, maybe Baleares. Guadalajara. No, that's not Guadalajara. They beat Ceuta. Urense, maybe. Urense and Talavera. Oh, no, Talavera aren't. Yeah, I know. I saw there was a couple, but I didn't see it was 3. Hey, there you go. It shows you. There's always some giant killings in these cup games. Cecil, who are you picking in the AFCON final? I've said from day one, I can't see it being anyone other than Senegal who wins that. I'd be amazed if it's anyone other than Senegal. They've just got the best team from front to back. I think when you look at the Egypt side that they played yesterday, it was a mostly poor Egypt side. Apart from Marmoush and Salah, that's it. There really wasn't an awful lot of quality there. And you could tell. That. How they've made it to the semi-final. Where every game I've watched of Egypt in this tournament, they've been garbage. They've been absolutely awful. They were terrible against South Africa. They should have probably gone out in many ways. Danny Olmo, unbelievable run from Olmo here. Pulls it back. Santander, get it away. Back to Yamal. Back to Olmo. Strike. It's going to go behind for a corner. Half-time, 1-1 Milan and Wanderers says, I think if there's any truth behind Carrick having signings, it's concerning. I don't mind him having them, but I've seen a post saying he can only sign a winger. I think a winger is the least of United's worries. Definitely midfield is a priority over a winger. And Creed says Morocco are winning it, Key. Jabba, I have a vested interest in a Senegal win. Why? So Everton can claim some sort of success this season. Sorkin, Depot, Albacete, Baleares, Racing Santander aren't third tier. They're only second. The top of the second tier, mate. Jake says, what's worse, Gyökeres getting 1 assist and a goal or Garnacho scoring 2? I think what's worse, Jake, is people using goals and assists as a metric to measure just how good a player has or hasn't been, either in a game or over a season. Obviously, if a player gets a ridiculously high number of assists or a ridiculously low number of goals and assists, then maybe there's something to look at across a full 38-game season. But I genuinely saw people last night telling me that Gyökeres should have been man of the match because he got a goal and an assist. And I was like, did you watch the game? Did you watch the game? He was awful. I think he had... Didn't he have the fewest touches on the pitch? I think he had 7 touches. Pretty much most of the game, 7 touches. And yet you will literally get people claiming... I'm not just talking about divvies either. I'm not just talking about... I'm talking about people who are professing to be experts in this game and they'll sit there talking about Gyökeres. Oh, he did really well, goal and assist, unbelievable. He touched the ball all night. Sorkin, true about Gyökeres, he did like 2 things. Finners, have you got a half-time quiz tonight? I have got a half-time quiz, yeah, I've been preparing it. I haven't wrote down the answers though yet. Again, I'm scrounging around for actually writing the answers. I always like to do that. I have actually got it on the screen here, but I can't write. I feel like I have to, so every time someone says something, I cross it out, and then I'm like, right, we've done that one. I can't do that on the screen. Jabba says going only by AFCON and Dye is better than Salah. Oh, 100. If we're only going by the AFCON, Illiman and Dye is better than Messi. But I agree. Salah's been awful in the tournament. He's been terrible, which is not necessarily surprising given he was awful before the tournament. But I will draw the line and say I don't think that means Mo Salah is not a very good player. I still think Mo Salah is maybe top 5 attackers in world football. I think he's absolutely unbelievable, but he's definitely having a bad spell. And I don't think we can say now that it's just down to Arne Slot. Arne Slot doesn't pass him the ball. Arne Slot's trying to... It's nothing to do with that. I've watched every minute of every Liverpool game this season. Mo Salah has missed an absolute hatful of chances. And he didn't miss them last year. Oh, that's a foul, ref. Barcelona should have a free kick edge of the box, but he's not getting it. They're not getting it. It's a free kick now up the other end. Oh, it's a throw into Santander. Mick finished him now, key lad. Yeah, he's no Jack Grealish, is he? No Jack Grealish. Right. Santander down the... Who's that? Oh my goodness me. Cameraman's doing absolute bits here on the touchline. Cameraman's finding some absolute stunners in the crowd. Honestly, there's just a thing with some cameramen. It often is games in Spain as well. Every time the cameraman has to point, I'm sure they must say, like, to the cameramen, right, listen, as soon as the ball goes out for a throw-in, I need you to find me an absolute stunner, an absolute fox in the crowd, right? Because as soon as it goes out for a throw-in or a free kick, you've got like a 5-second window, and we're cutting to your camera. And they must be like that, scanning the full game, just like, oh my god, and then they find an absolute worldie and lock on, and that's what every time. It's every single time. It's absolute box office. Key, I'm telling the missus. Hey, my missus was watching the game. They'd be fixing on her. Caught that one. There you go, saved. She'll be happy with that. She'll be fine with that, I'm sure. Java says, going by, we've done that one. Another perspective is once a player gets his payday, he's on the beach. And do you know what? I've heard that one as well, and there's maybe a fair element to that, but I think with some players, but I really don't think that's the case with Salah. I think with Salah, you've got a player there who has been offered probably the biggest amount of money of any player in world football to go and play in Saudi. He's been offered more than Cristiano Ronaldo. He's the most famous Muslim footballer in the whole of football, and he's always going to be someone who draws attention, and Saudi is like yearning for Mo Salah to go over there. He was offered a ridiculous amount of money in the summer. He turned it down. He's got that there. He's literally got that there, and I think he's adamant that he wants to win Premier Leagues and Champions Leagues and trophy. He's not yet ready to commit to Saudi or wherever for the sake of, I'm just going to go there and pick up the cash. I don't think he's in that era of his career just yet. Como could be winning like 4-1 if it wasn't for Mike Manyan. And Abdi Samad says, great day, Barcelona. I think they'll win this match. Well, hey, listen, they're still going to be glancing at Albacete knocking Real Madrid out. I am sure they are not going to be getting complacent in this one. Santander can certainly cause them problems. They have already had a couple of forays into the Barcelona half. Nothing too dramatic, nothing that I would look at and say Barcelona have been under pressure at any point. But, is that going to be a foul? Oh, do you know what? Rafinha's screaming at the referee there. I tell you what, if that one doesn't hit the player's back, maybe he might be away there, Santander. Cameraman must be spoiled for choice. It's a yellow card for... Who is it who's getting booked here? There might be another yellow card coming here. Mario Garcia, I think, just chopped down Lamine Yamal. Reese clipped that up. Sorkin says Como dominated the first half. Adam says Van Dijk also signed a contract but hasn't had the fall off of Salah. And deeper, greener pastures says Key Yamal. How many Ballon d'Ors at his career's end? Honestly, it depends on his injuries, doesn't it? He's already seen that he's missing games because he's got injuries or he's got pain in his... Is it his pubis? Injuries in his... I don't know. He's got pain in his pelvis and pubic region or whatever. I don't know. But my point is, when you have a player so young who is obviously a standout player, playing them that much can really affect them later on in their career. There's been many a player who have had a really fast start to their career, and by the time they're 26, 27, 28, career's done. Michael Owen, even Raheem Sterling to a degree is not the same player that he was because he was playing pretty regularly at 16, 17, wasn't he? And when you start playing 30 plus games a season while your body's still growing, I think that's why Arne Slot's talked about it. Liverpool fans have been kicking off at Arne Slot saying, he doesn't value the youth. He doesn't like the youth. He hates young players. He's an absolute dinosaur, Arne Slot. He won't play the young players. And actually, he said it's under medical advice because Rio Engamoa is still a young player. He's still, growing and all this. So he's still only 17. We don't want to put him on the pitch too often because he's still having growth spurts. His body's still sort of growing into itself. So if you play through that, then you're going to get problems later on in your career. We're trying to do right by the player. Sorkin says, would you like Alonso at Liverpool? No. If Arne Slot got sacked, then I wouldn't be averse to it. But I certainly don't want Arne Slot sacked for anyone, let alone Xabi Alonso. Barcelona had the corner there. It's gone back out to the edge of the box. Finner says, I think he'll get 2 or 3 Ballon d'Ors by the end of his career. Yeah, I think that's probably reasonable. If he stays fit, I think he could easily get 2 or 3. But again, does anyone really put too much stake in Ballon d'Ors anymore? It's so political. It's not even the best player. It really isn't. I don't believe... If you said who's the best player in the world, I don't believe anyone really is saying Ousmane Dembele. They're just not. I don't care what anyone says. Nobody's saying Ousmane Dembele is the best player in the world. He's a good player, but he's not the best player in the world. Brady Hanlon says, Mastantuono had the same injury as Yamal. It hampers him a bit. I think he's got bags of potential. Played well yesterday. Actually, yeah, I heard that as well. That in the Albacete game, he was one of the few Real Madrid players to come out with a degree of credit. Lamine Yamal just winning a free kick. It's a handball just outside the area. Ball whipped in, miles over the bar, that from Rashford. Poor, very poor, that from Rashford. Okay. Sorry, I'm just still jotting down, ready for the halftime quiz. That's all it is. Everton women winning 5-0 in the Women's FA Cup. Who have they got? Who are they playing? Jabba says Ballon d'Or became the Oscars of football. Barcelona now get it over to the left-hand side with Rashford. Really intrigued to see how Rashford does for the rest of his stay at Barcelona. Because I feel like he's got massive... That's not even Rashford, it's Babalde. Rashford's over there with him. Whoa, 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 whoa. Little bit of a scrap. Claim for the penalty from Dani Olmo. Santander just belted up the pitch. Too easy, really. Too easy, that from Santander to clear that away. It was never a penalty. Barcelona have not done enough in this opening 35 minutes to really worry Santander, if I'm honest. The one fantastic bit of quality we've seen in this game has been Rashford putting the ball into the box, putting it on an absolute sixpence for Dani Olmo. He was absolutely terrific. Oh, what a pass, unlucky. Well cut out from Koundé. Santander very nearly in. They're not, I can't even say it like this isn't... It's on a bit of a knife edge in many ways, because Santander, every time they are getting the ball, they've got 11 men behind the ball. As soon as they get it, they've always got 2 out balls. The 2 strikers go like that. That's a terrible ball in. Yamal pour that straight to the keeper. So yeah, they're playing on the counter-attack, Santander. There's definitely a chance on the counter. Definitely a chance on the counter. Yeah, I've got a good quiz. I've got a good quiz ready for half-time. Anyway, Finner says West Brom, they're playing... Ah, right, okay. Wandera says, what's in line for us tomorrow, Key? The Championship. Yes. Tomorrow, we are doing West Brom against Middlesbrough in the Championship. Middlesbrough are second, but they are struggling. They're really struggling. They've won once, I think, in the last 5. Is it once in the last 5, once in the last 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Once in the last 6. They got knocked out of the FA Cup by Fulham last weekend, but they've got 1 win in the last 6 games. Admittedly, it was a big win. It was 4-0 over Southampton. But before that, lost to Derby, lost to Hull, lost to Bristol City, drew with Blackburn. Just a bit of a weird run for Middlesbrough. And yet they still, funnily enough, because Coventry's form has just dipped ever so slightly, they also find themselves only 6 points behind the leaders. So... going to be an interesting game, that one, tomorrow. Coventry Borough. Keep an eye out on that one, because those are the 2 teams... West Brom Coventry. West Brom Borough. Those are the teams, in terms of Borough, that they are favourites to go up. West Brom have gone from a team sort of teetering on the edge of the playoffs. They were my dark horse prediction for the playoffs this year. They are currently 10 points off the playoffs, 7 points off the relegation zone, but they have just obviously appointed a new manager. So, Ryan Mason sacked as manager of West Brom. Really poor run that they've been on. They've got some quality at West Brom. The Baggies could be an outside chance under the new manager. Maybe you get a new manager bounce. So, we'll be previewing all that tomorrow, and we'll have a little look and see whether or not West Brom can indeed turn it around and get themselves back up towards those playoff places. But tonight, obviously, we do want to focus on Barca. Brady says, Key, who do you think is the more complete player? Hullet or Cruyff? I mean, listen, Cruyff certainly, as a player, as a manager, certainly got the better reputation. Cruyff was before my time. I caught the tail end of Hullet. And he was some player. Ruud Hullet. Could do a bit of everything. Who was the more complete player? If we're talking about could do a bit of everything, then it's Ruud Hullet. Ruud Hullet, he's probably an all-time, if you're doing an all-time Dutch team, I think you'd be hard pushed not to include Ruud Hullet. Or Cruyff. But, yeah, Cruyff was sensational, great attacker, but Hullet could defend. You could drop him into midfield. You could even put him in defence if you needed to. He could just play everywhere. He had a bit of everything. He was pinging passes. From defence long before Virgil van Dijk was on the scene. The guy's just absolutely unbelievable. He's like a quarterback and could carry the ball. He had pace. He was nasty. Yeah, he could do a bit of everything, Ruud Hullet. And he was in a number of very successful sides as well, let's not forget. Jag says, Karma coming to Real Madrid, and I hope their poor run of form lasts even longer. And Jabba says, am I the only one who finds the FA Cup website a headache to navigate? Had to pull up BBC Sport for live updates. The FA Cup website? Why are you on the FA Cup website? Oh, in the Women's FA Cup. I didn't even know the FA Cup had a website, if I'm honest with you. It's my own fault. Hey, Andy, how's it going, mate? Good to see you. And Jag says, Rude couldn't manage, though. I mean, let's be honest, you can't hold that against some players. There's some players who go on to be fantastic managers, top players, top managers. Kenny Dalglish, Carlo Ancelotti. The list goes on. But then there's many pretty average run-of-the-mill players who become top managers. And Pep Guardiola was a very decent player. I wouldn't have said he was world-class, but he was a very decent player. But yeah, there's many world-class players who go on to be pretty poor managers. Wayne Rooney. You could name a few. Let's be honest, there's a number of ex-top players who've got jobs based off their name. The fact that they are top players and they've never really done an awful lot. Frank de Boer, coming into the Premier League. Worst manager in Premier League history. 8 games, 8 losses, wasn't it? Sure, it was 8 games, 8 losses, came in at Palace and he was out straight away. Right, we're on 5 minutes to half time. We've not really had an awful lot of quality in this first half, sadly. It's not been a particular classic, sadly. In the Bundesliga, Augsburg 1, Union Berlin 0. That takes Augsburg, if they can hang on, takes Augsburg 5 points actually clear of the relegation zone. They're now 5 ahead of Mainz. So that's a big win for Augsburg if they can get that and hang on. In Serie A, Verona 2, Bologna 3, Como AC Milan still 1-1, and Kunku with the penalty bang on half-time. AC Milan, do they need the win there? I mean, the 5 points off Inter at the top. I really thought that draw between Inter and Napoli might have just settled things down, but no, if anything, AC Milan need the win tonight for me. Finners, I've just seen Celtic has made inquiries for Callum Wilson. There's rumours about Everton with Callum Wilson. I'm surprised that Everton, of all the people, I mean, again, Jabber, I don't know if you got Jabber, Mick, I don't know, Shell, whoever, if you're all in, use the blues that I rely on in the chat. If you could only sign one position for Everton this January, if you could only sign one position, is it a centre forward that you'd go for? I mean, you've got Barry. I know Beto's not fantastic, but is that the position really that would? I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe I'm wrong. 3-star Key just looked in on the women's football chat, and Shell is on the chat. Oh, is she? Oh, good. I'm glad. I'm really glad she is. I hope she comes back. I really hope she comes back. If you see her or you speak to her, mate, let her know we're asking for her. We've got rid of the aggressor, and we all really miss her. If she does want to come back, no rush or no pressure, but she's very much missed. Abubakar, good swam news, says it's going to be 3-0 this one. Jabba says we need goals at Everton. Fair enough. But okay, fair enough. You've certainly got players behind Dewsbury Hall, Grealish and Dye. You've got players that can create, I guess. I think Harrison Armstrong goes back after his loan as well, by the way. Or goes back to his loan. Allegedly, Everton are about sending him back again. Beto and Barry just aren't up to scratch. I think Barry will be in time, but I agree you might need a stopgap that's better than Beto. I just looked and thought, I guess if you could sign one, I'm not sure that is the most pressing area for Everton. For me, it's fullback. I genuinely think a specialist right back of some sort is so important for Everton. Because if that can be a real game changer. I feel like if all Illiman and Dye does is get the ball and cut in, Grealish gets the ball, cuts in. So it means the wing-backs are like mega important for Everton in terms of creating chances. Finners Matty, do you think Grealish signs permanently at Everton? Again, I wouldn't. If I was in charge of Everton, and I don't mean that as like I'm a Liverpool fan and I'm trying to scupper him. If I'm an Everton fan, or if I'm David Moyes and I've got the choice of choosing Grealish, yes or no, it'd be no. I don't think that's a smart move. I think you go and get someone better for the money. AC Milan 2-1 in front against Como now. That's a very big goal. It was who got it? Rabiot. Yeah, Rabiot. He was not a bad signing from Marseille. I mean, I know he's getting on a bit, Rabiot, but he's got experience in Serie A, and yeah, 9 million quid I think it was they picked him up for. Jabber says Armstrong should go back to Preston if KDH gets healthy sooner rather than later. Moyes said he preferred Armstrong to stay out on loan. Right back is a huge need. I think Grealish on permanent is a no. I'm glad it's not just me thinking that. It's half time in this one. Racing Santander 0, Barcelona 0, and an upset is still on the cards. It's very much still on the cards. We've not seen any massive chances for either Santander or Barca. It looks like it's going to be one of them nights where Santander they're gonna sit deep and try and hit on the counter. Barca are going to have to be patient and take the time and try and break them down. But as it stands, it's a cagey stalemate, 0-0. Not a particularly entertaining one, but there's still time to go. I'm sure there's going to be a big game in the second, or big goals in the second half. Wanderer says, depends on where Everton want to go. I'm unsure, to be honest. In your opinion, where do you think Everton want to be? I don't think it's very aligned. If I'm really honest, I think the fan perception of where Everton should be and the direction of travel. I think the direction of travel from the club is a lot slower than what the Everton fan base want it to be and expect it to be. That's why they're signing Asnu and Barry and, I think Harrison Armstrong's getting maybe a slightly bigger opportunity. I think those are they're going to get more of those type of signings and less of the Youssef En-Nesyri, less of the Grealishes. Grealish made sense because it was a short-term one on loan. I don't think Everton... I think the Friedkin group, if they had their call on it, they wouldn't sign him. He doesn't fit the profile. He probably does fit for David Moyes, though. I think if you're David Moyes, he says yes to Grealish, absolutely, but the club probably say no. Brady says, saw this morning in the presser that Roll wants a couple more players in the window. Glad the board is backing him. Danny Roll at Rangers. Hey, speaking of Roll, Merlin Roll, again, that's another one. I don't think that's one that David Moyes wanted. Merlin Roll coming in from Freiburg, but again, even he's not had that many minutes. Diblin, not had that many minutes. These aren't players that David Moyes wants, but he's got them. He's been given them, and that's what he's working with. So I think the club's expectation is that Everton become a bit more of a Brighton, a bit more of a feeder model. And I don't think that's in line with what Everton fans expect at all. Ben Tamgol, question. Go on, what's your question, mate? I'll do my best. I'm not an oracle, but I'll do my very best to answer, unless it's a question about what I think, and then I can absolutely give you that one. Unless you mean quiz. Oh, halftime quiz. We did have a halftime quiz planned. Sorry, halftime quiz. Yes. Should we do our halftime quiz? If you're watching, if you're listening. Magnus, how's it going? Halftime quiz. So, here we go. If you're watching. Given that we're watching the Spanish Copa del Rey, here's the quiz. Name for me, if you can, the top 20 Premier League Spanish signings. 2 Premier League clubs. The Spanish signings, the most expensive. The top 20 most expensive Spanish signings of Premier League clubs. That's what I'm looking for. Get your answers in the chat, wherever you're watching this, whether it be on Twitch, TikTok, YouTube, wherever you are. Get your answers in the chat. The top 20 Spanish, most expensive Spanish signings of the Premier League. Creed Van Crow, Everton could eclipse Liverpool with the right backing. I think that's what they're hoping for. I really do. I think that's what they're hoping for. Xabi Alonso is a no. Yeah, Xabi Alonso. He was only 14 million from Real Sociedad in about 2004. No, he's not in there. But Fabregas is. Cesc Fabregas for 33 million euros. That was in 2014 from Barcelona to Chelsea. Fernando Torres. I'll give you that. Fernando Torres is in there twice. Fernando Torres, 12th. 38 million from Atletico Madrid to Liverpool in 2007, and he was also from Liverpool to Chelsea for 58 million in 2010. It's baffling that he only got 3 years at Liverpool. Who else? David Silva. David Silva is... Have I not marked him down? I think I may have marked him down incorrectly. Where is it? Oh, there. Can't even read my own writing. Yes, David Silva is 18th. He is also 33 million euros, same as Cesc Fabregas. Who else are we talking? Sorry, Kepa. Yep, Kepa is number one. Kepa Arrizabalaga, 80 million euros, 2018. From Athletic Bilbao to Chelsea. What else are we talking? Rafa Benitez, nearly the beginning of the end of us. Not. Zubamendi. Zubamendi is second. Zubamendi, second, 2025. 70 million euros, Zubamendi. Not Roberto Soldado. No, Roberto Soldado was 26 million, so he would be less than number 20 on this list was 31. We've got Kepa, we've got Zubamendi. Marino was 32. Yeah, he's number 19 on this list. Marino, 32. He was 2024 from Sociedad to Arsenal. Cucurella, number 5. Yep, 65 million euros, 2022. Alvaro Morata is correct, number 4, 66 million euros, 2017. That was Real Madrid, wasn't it, to Chelsea, 2017. Who else? Marcos Alonso. Marcos Alonso, I haven't got. How much was Marcos Alonso? Let's sense check this. Marcos Alonso, transfer to Chelsea, fee. How much was he signed for? 23 million. Yeah, so Marcos Alonso from Fiorentina was between 23 and 27 million euros. So no. Laporte is correct. Yeah, Aymeric Laporte is 6th, 65 million in 2017. Who else have we said that I'm missing? Not Morientes. Rodri, Welsh Wing. Rodri, 70 million euros, 2019. So you've now got the top 6 and Torres, who's 8th. You've got Rodri, you've got Torres, you've got Laporte, you've got Cucurella, Kepa Zubi, Rodri, Morata, Cucurella, Aymeric Laporte, blank, then Torres. Diego Costa is correct. Diego Costa is 11th, 38 million euros in 2014. Who else? If you've just joined us, we are going through the 20 most expensive Spanish Premier League transfer signings. Not Di Maria, Finners Matty. No, he's Argentinian, mate. So you've got Kepa Arrizabalaga at 1, 2 Zubamendi, 70 million euros. Rodri 3rd, 4th Morata, 5th Cucurella, 6th Aymeric Laporte, 7th blank you've not got yet. 8th is Fernando Torres. 9th you've not got. 10th I've just seen get put in the chat by Bentham Goal. It's Pedro Porro, 10th. 40 million euros in 2023 to Spurs from Sporting Lisbon. So Pedro Porro is correct. 11th was Diego Costa. 12th Fernando Torres. Who else have we not got? Nico Gonzalez, yep, 7th. So there's number 7. You've got 60 million euros. Porto, I believe it was, from Nico Gonzalez, wasn't it? To Manchester City. Not Almunia, no. Pau Torres is correct. Z-Stroke, good to see you, mate. Z-Stroke says Pau Torres, he is number 16. 33 million euros in 2023. So you're missing number 9, number 13, number 14, number 15, and number 19. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left to get. 5 left to get. Pau Torres, David Silva, Marino, Cesc Fabregas. You've got. No, we're not just expensive players from La Liga. They have to be Spanish nationals that have joined a Premier League club. It can be from other. So Cucurella, for example, went from Brighton to Chelsea. He's in this list. But it can be Kepa, for example, from Bilbao to Chelsea. Most of them are Chelsea, if I'm dead honest. Kepa, Chelsea. Morata, Chelsea. Cucurella, Chelsea. Torres, Chelsea. Costa, Chelsea. Cesc Fabregas, Chelsea. There you go. It's all Chelsea. Not Michu. No, Michu was famous. How much? Michu was about 6 million. From Rayo Vallecano to Swansea. Absolutely fantastic. Not David De Gea. No, he was 18 million euros. David Raya is correct though, Sarah. David Raya is number 20 in this list. 31 million euros in 2024. So you've got 2, 3, 4 left to get. Ander Herrera, 36 million in 2014. How much would he be worth today? He was a really good signing for United, I thought. Ander Herrera from Bilbao to Manchester United. He's currently at Boca Juniors. I'm sure he's playing in Argentina at the minute. Absolutely fantastic player. Top quality. Robert Sanchez. I don't believe Robert Sanchez would be in the list. I've certainly not got him down, but I might be wrong. No, he was 20 plus 5 in add-ons, so he was 25. Doesn't quite make the list. Yeah, just wanted to sense check that. Morata, we've got D. Yeah, I'll go through the ones you've got again. You've got Kepa. We're doing the top 20 most expensive Spanish signings of Premier League clubs. In Premier League history, top 20 most expensive. Number 1 is Kepa Arrizabalaga. 2, Zubamendi. 3, Rodri. 4 is Morata, sorry. Might have given the game away there. 4 is Morata. 5 is Cucurella. 6 is Aymeric Laporte. 7th is Nico Gonzalez. 8th is Fernando Torres. 9th is Juan Mata. 10th is Porro. Mata was 45 million in 2013. 10th is Porro. 11th is Diego Costa. 12th is also Fernando Torres from Atletico Madrid to Liverpool. 13th, Ander Herrera. 14th and 15th are the 2 that you're missing. 16th is Pau Torres from Villarreal to Aston Villa, 33 million. 17th was Cesc Fabregas from Barca to Chelsea, 33 million. 18th was David Silva, 33 million. 19th, Mikel Merino. And 20th was David Raya. So you've got 2 more players to get. It's not Mendieta. I'll give you the clue. One of them is playing in this game now. One of them is playing in this game now that we're watching. Santander against Barcelona. They're playing. They're on the pitch. That should narrow it down a little bit. Not Cazorla. No, not Cazorla. It's not Arbeloa. Arbeloa was about 4 million quid, I think Liverpool signed him for. Fabulous signing. He was brilliant. No, Rafinha is Brazilian, not Azpilicueta. How much was Azpilicueta, actually? But he wasn't that much. Azpilicueta transfer to Chelsea was 7 million quid. That is an absolute bargain. Not Casemiro again, he's Brazilian. Not Garcia. He's on the pitch now for Barcelona. Centre forward. Spanish centre forward for Barcelona. No ideas. I'll give you the clue to the other one then, because you'll get that one. You will get that one. The other one The other one is a signing between... Is he still playing? I think he might still be playing. Ferran Torres, says Bentangol. That's the one. Ferran Torres is number 14. 33.5 million he was from Valencia to Manchester City in 2020. So Ferran Torres is number 14. And the last one that you've not got, number 15, he was 33.4 million euros. And he joined in 2019. He went from 2 Premier League clubs, one Premier League club to another in 2019. He was a centre forward, kind of like a false 9 almost. Occasionally drifted wide, but he was a Spanish centre forward, played for teams outside the top 4, and he moved from one Premier League club to another. Not De Gea, not Gavi. No. Soldado, that went completely out my mind. Ferran Torres was at City. He was, yeah. Ferran Torres was at City. Yeah, very good signing as well. It was, because we're about to kick off for the second half, it was Ayoze Perez. Ayoze Perez from Newcastle to Leicester City. It was in 2019, nearly 7 years ago. Ayoze Perez moved from Newcastle to Leicester City for 33.4 million euros. There you go. So they are your top 20 most expensive Spanish players in Premier League history. Not a bad little quiz, that one, I thought. So Kepa, Zubamendi, Rodri, Morata, Cucurella, Aymeric Laporte, Nico Gonzalez, Torres, Mata and Porro are your top 10. 11th is Diego Costa. 12th is also Fernando Torres. 13th, Ander Herrera. 14th, Ferran Torres. 15th, Ayoze Perez. 16th, Pau Torres. 17th, Cesc Fabregas. 18th, David Silva. 19th, Mikel Merino. And 20th, David Raya. So there you go. There's our half-time quiz. More of them coming up tomorrow for the West Brom Middlesbrough game. I enjoyed that as always. Does he count as he's Brazilian? He's born in Brazil, Spanish passport, classed as Spanish. Welsh Wings, I thought someone said Perez, damn it. Apologies. No one said Ayoze Perez. Right, there you go. We're off for the second half. Again, I'm slightly behind on this one because I'm watching via Premier Sports 1 on Amazon Prime. So, yeah, we are off and underway. There you go. Perfect. I'll keep it updated on all the others. Arana's gone off, by the way, for Racing Santander. Manex Lozano has come on. Manex Lozano, a young 18-year-old forward from out of the Santander Academy. He scored on his debut for Santander not that long ago. Who was it he played against? Scored on his debut. Played one, scored one. Yeah, he's been out on loan at Baskonia, who play in the Segunda AFF Group 2, which is the 4th tier of Spanish football. He's been out playing for Baskonia and done quite well for them. He's now rejoined Santander. They've ended his loan early. He's come back to the club and he's now on for the second half, starting centre forward against the mighty Barcelona. Strike from the edge of the box, and it was Lamine Yamal. It's gone wide. Is it going to be a corner? I think it might be. Yep, corner to Barca. Welsh Wing says, here's my daily question key. Name the only 5 players that have played every single minute in their team's title-winning season. Oh, now there's a question. Every single minute in a Premier League team's title-winning season. Is it Premier League or just... Again, you've said their teams, which could well be ambiguous. Could be an SPL. Could be like Scott Brown or someone like that. I don't know the answer. I'd be throwing out guesses. I really don't know the answer. Kante is a fabulous guess from Creed Van Crow. Does anyone else know the answer to that? Or does anyone else in the chats want to venture any guesses? That's a really good question. A daily question from Welsh Wing. He always brings a good one. Says, name the only 5 players that have played every single minute in a Premier League team's title-winning season. Every minute. Not Kante, Vardy, not Schmeichel, not Sol Campbell. Anybody else want to venture a guess? I Am Crute says, didn't Salah do it when we won in 2020? Salah. I mean, he was always, Salah's always been available. I'm not sure about every minute. Not sure about every minute, though. Petr Cech. Goalkeepers is a good thought process. I like the thinking. 3-star Key had a good chat with Shell. Sent our best wishes from you and everyone on the stream. Told the Muppet's being booted off and to come back when she's ready. Oh, yeah, that's good. I'm glad. Was she okay? As long as she's okay at the end of the day, I'm glad she's all right. I hope she does come back. John Terry, it's not Czech. I'm thinking centre-backs and goalkeepers. Java says it must be a defender. Van Dijk. John Terry's won. 14-15. Barca are in. Should be. Oh, what a save from the goalkeeper. Fabulous save. Rashford should do better. Is it Van der Sar? Is it Van der Sar? I Am Crute suggesting Van der Sar. R7 suggesting David Silva. But Van Dijk in 1920, that's 2. So yeah, Van Dijk in 1920 is 2. So Van Dijk and John Terry in 14-15. Van Dijk 1920. Lemodis says Robbie Fowler. I wish he'd have won a title with us. Yeah, is Van der Sar or David Silva right, Welsh wing? Any of them? Wes Morgan for when Leicester won the league. See, do you know what? Wes Morgan's a great shout as well, D28. But I always feel like Wes Morgan, because he went on to have such a short career after that title win, and he did struggle a little bit after it. I just always think of him as maybe not injury prone, but I'm sure he wouldn't have played every minute. It's not David Silva, and it's not Van der Sar or Fowler. Rio Ferdinand or Vidic. Wes Morgan is right. That's a bloody good guess. Well, it's not a guess. I'm sure maybe you knew it, D28. Wes Morgan. Those 3 played every minute of Leicester City's title win. That's an absolutely fantastic strike. That's a huge strike. That's an absolutely fantastic guess, I meant. Kasparov. Gary Kasparov, the chess grandmaster. Gary Neville says I Am Crute. Maybe Gary Pallister. Gary Pallister. Again, he's another one who I always think of. Maybe he's a touch more injury prone. Gary Neville and Gary Pallister must be United players just by the sheer volume of Premier League title wins they've had. I'm sure that there must have been someone who played every minute. Yamal with a strike. Keeper spills it. Santander get it away. Joe Hart. Joe Hart is another shout from over on TikTok. R7 has shouted with Joe Hart. Not Cristiano Ronaldo. Gary Pallister is 4. Hey, there you go. Another fantastic shout from over on TikTok. Gary Pallister, Wes Morgan, Van Dijk and John Terry. It's all centre-backs, isn't it? And captains, isn't it? Is it all captains, basically? Was Gary Pallister captain of that United side? I'd guess Kasparov played every minute of his title campaign. Might have just tagged someone in. Don't know if they do sub-appearances in the Chess Grandmaster Championships or whatever. We've got John Terry. Ederson says I Am Crute. What about Ederson for Manchester City? Pep Guardiola's a bit of a rotating. He likes moving him around a bit. I think he might have moved him on. Creed Van Crow says Vincent Kompany. Jag, I would have never gotten Wes Morgan or Pallister. No, neither would I. Both excellent shouts, them. R7's also saying Azpilicueta. Azpilicueta, maybe. Again, not a bad shout. I like it. I like the thinking. Welsh Wing says, so far the answers, John Terry, Van Dijk, Pallister and Wes Morgan. There's only one more. It's not any of the ones we've said. Alan Shearer or Chris Sutton, says 3-star. Shearer. They had like Mike Newell as backup then, didn't they? Mike Newell was backup for Shearer and Sutton. Juan Mata, when he was at United, was good. He was, but he didn't win a title with United, did he? Oh, it is Azpilicueta. There you go. That's 5. It's all defenders and it's all basically captains. Rashford with a strike from the edge of the box, just wide. That's all leaders at the back, isn't it? Azpilicueta, Terry, Van Dijk, Wes Morgan. Not Morgan. Jagsy, I wouldn't have guessed Asp either, but now that you say it makes sense. That's a really good shout. That's a really good question. I like that. I'm going to remember that. Played every minute of their team's title-winning campaign in the Premier League, and it was Pallister, Van Dijk, Morgan, Terry, and Aspi. There you go. I'm remembering that one. I'm going to recycle that one. In about 40 lives, when you've forgot about it, I'm going to ask that again in about 3 months. I'm remembering that one, Welshwing. Great question, Welshwing. Like that one, mate. Really good. You're starting to get a reputation. You're beating my halftime quizzes. I don't like it. You're undermining my authority. Ban him. Ban him if he keeps coming out with good questions. I thought his name was Dave. That's his nickname because he's such a stupid long name. He called him Dave. No, that was absolutely fantastic. I really enjoyed that. Good question. Definitely going to remember Wes Morgan key. Right, well, you shut up next time I ask it. I'll wait till Welshwing in the chat one night and I'll ask it and I'll claim that one. Jake says, I tell you what, this might be another shock. It could be, yeah. I mean, listen, 55 minutes on the cards, on the clock. Barcelona, they've had a couple of chances. Rashford's created Barca's best chance, but he's also been guilty of missing a couple. Probably should have put one away himself. Conrad Smith, Wes is Jamaica captain at one time. Fabulous player, Wes Morgan. Do you know what? They had some really good players, Leicester, that had all sort of peaked at the same time late in their careers. Like Fuchs. Christian Fuchs was absolutely brilliant for them that season. Absolutely phenomenal. You know, even Drinkwater. Drinkwater had a great year for him. Vardy peaked. But yeah, looking at the Copa del Rey quarterfinals, by the way, just as a reminder of who's already made their way to the. Oh, actually, no, we've already got that. This is the quarterfinals, isn't it? No, it's not the quarters. This is the round of 16, isn't it? Is it the round of 16? Yeah, this is the round of 16. Sorry. So, Atletico Madrid beat Deportivo La Coruña. Bilbao beat Cultural Leonesa. Albacete beating Real Madrid. That's the big shock of the round. Valencia look like they're going through tonight. 2-0 up against Burgos with goals from Rubo and Umar Sadiq. So they're probably heading through to the quarters. Betis beating Elche. Real Sociedad with an absolutely fantastic win over Osasuna. 3-2 after penalties, that one in the end. And Alaves 2, Rayo Vallecano 0. So it's going to be Alaves, Sociedad, Betis, Bilbao, Madrid, Albacete, and one of these two. And I would imagine, if Barcelona get knocked out, I'm not even entirely sure who would be the favourites, because Betis, Bilbao, Madrid, even Sociedad, just honestly, the Copa del Rey is wide open. If Barcelona get knocked out tonight, it is absolutely wide open. Drinkwater, even Albrighton was a super. Albrighton was super sub that season. Welshwing, you have to think though, why defenders? I guess it's defenders because maybe that's a sign of the times. Maybe that you don't cover as much ground as a defender, do you? It was never going to be midfielders, and attackers are nearly always the ones taking the most kicks, aren't they? Defenders give them. Maybe it's just a really simple thing. Defenders kick the most. Midfielders cover the most ground and therefore are most likely to be, muscle injuries and tweaks and maybe rested because of how much ground they have to cover. And attackers get kicked every 5 minutes. So maybe it's attackers and midfielders more likely to be subbed off. It was always likely to be defenders and goalies, in my opinion. Yeah, defenders rotate less. Hey, there you go. Right, there is a change here for Barcelona. It looks like, is it Fermin coming on? Mark Bernal off and Firmin coming on. Yeah, there you go. Creed says, Key, who's your favourite all-time goalkeeper? I mean, it's going to sound ridiculous and biased, but it really is Alisson. I just love Alisson. I love how he's a cheat code when it comes to one-on-ones. Like, he's so good with one-on-ones. Great chance here. Oh, Santander, so close. But I always really appreciated Pepe Reina as well. It's maybe no secret that it's two Liverpool goalkeepers, but yeah, I always like that. I really, really liked Van der Sar. Van der Sar, thought he was brilliant. I tell you who else it might be, as well. If we're going outside and away from the whole Liverpool theme, probably Canizares. Santiago Canizares for Valencia was an absolutely unbelievable, incredibly underrated goalkeeper. And even looking at like Serie A, I always thought Peruzzi and maybe Pagliuca to a degree, but Peruzzi always stood out. 3 stars says they all laughed when Claudio Dilly Diddly Ding Dong Ranieri was appointed Sean Dyche at Forest next season. It couldn't cut it. Olin says this delayed offside needs to stop. Jag says I think Alisson at the end of his career won't get the credit he deserves. Andy says, what's your Prem predictions for this weekend? I'm thinking of doing a live every weekend, or maybe like every Friday ahead. Would you enjoy that? Would it be worth doing? I might try it and just see what happens. I might just do Premier League predictions alive, and we'll just go through them together. All 10 games, we'll just go through them together. I'd love to do that, because I hate editing, but I really should do predictions, shouldn't I? So I might do a predictions video, but for this weekend I won't. For this weekend, will I? Maybe I will. Maybe I do a Premier League predictions video. Maybe I don't tell you. I'll do a Premier League predictions video on Friday. Do you know what? That's it. You've sold me that. I'm going to do it now. So Friday, that's tomorrow. I was here planning it like it's ages away. So yeah, so tomorrow I'll do a Premier League predictions live at about maybe 5 o'clock. Because what time's West Brom? West Brom Borough. I might do it just before West Brom, but I don't know. I'll schedule it tomorrow. I will schedule it tomorrow, and I'll set it then for every Friday. You have my word. I'm going to do a live every Friday. Make that a note. There you go, Keith. Sort that out, lad. Every Friday, Premier League predictions video. See if we can get some traction with it. You did it at the start. I didn't do it at the start of this season. I can't remember. I used to do it. If you go back to like right to the start of the channel, like the first videos I ever used to do were Premier League predictions, and they were really well received, even though we only had about 30 or 40 people watching at the time. It used to take me, I'm not even kidding, I'm so shit at editing. I'm terrible at editing. So it used to take me about 6 hours to film it. And I'd make it all like polished and like try and really learn and do all the right stuff. And it was always a bit crap. But I think the better thing might just be, I'll just go live. We'll just go live and we'll just go each game. Let's go point by point. And I'll put a little graphic on the screen that says what I think it's going to be. That'll work. We'll try that. Let's just go it on the way. Hey, Shell's back. Hey, how you doing, Shell? Lovely to see you again. How you doing? We've missed you, Shell. We really have. How's the FA Cup going? Of Everton, they were 5-0 up. Someone said they were 5-0 up when they were in. Oh, when they were in earlier, they said it was 5-0. I assume they've won that one quite well. Jag, you can talk about each game and things going on at the clubs. We'll spend, I think it's worth maybe doing an hour live, and we'll spend a minimum of 5 minutes on each game. 3-1 to Milan. Love that. Yeah, 3-1 to AC Milan. They're winning against Como now. That's a big, big win. Shell, we won 5-0. Love that. 5-0. Big win for the Everton women. Was it 5-0 when you won at Anfield earlier this season? Jag says you have to pay someone on Fiverr. It's not a bad shout to get a cheap editor, but it's not that expensive, especially if you're just cutting a live. The thing is, mate, you've got to know where to cut it. Like, if it... I don't think I could just hand over... And plus, I'm probably quite bad to work with, because I would hand over, like, for a 10-minute video, I'd probably need to give him, like, 2 hours of footage. Because I always like, oh, that was a bit crap, and I'll have to give it back and keep chopping and changing. It's just an absolute nightmare. So I'd probably end up being a nightmare. Not a nightmare to work with in terms of, like, I'm a tit or anything. I'm nice, but I think I would probably end up having to be paying a fortune, because I'd give them too much stuff and they'd be like, I've got to cut a 2-hour video into like 10 minutes, Key. Help me out. Welsh Wing says Vardy did play every single minute in 15-16, but then he got a second yellow against West Ham for diving. Oh no. Barca off the bar, strike, and it's wide. It's going to be another corner. Oh, nearly there. 1-0 Barca. Shell says 4-1 at Anfield. Andy says 5-1 at Anfield. I was going to say I thought it was a big win. All these blues on a Reds channel. I love it. Yeah, well, don't get too comfortable. I want you scattering on Sunday when Villa win. Graham says, will the Turkish supercomputer help you? Somehow I doubt it. Yeah, we've not seen Tolga for a while. He's not been in for a while. I don't think he's got too much correct, in fairness to him. But yeah, we're going to do a live on Friday now going forward. Corner to Barcelona. It's cleared out to the edge of the box. Balde. ...65 minutes in, and it's in the hands of Joan Garcia now. Barca on the counter-attack. Dani Olmo in the left-back position. Switch your play over to the right-hand side. Wanderers says, big derby on the weekend. Joe, how's it going, Joe? Chance for Barca. Ferran Torres, 1-0. There you go. Ferran Torres puts Barca 1-0 in front. That was a fabulous goal. Who put the ball through? Was it Ferran? It's not. Is it Fermin? Is it Ferran Torres or Fermin? Who scored here? I think it's Ferran Torres, isn't it? It's Ferran Torres. Ferran Torres with his new slick back herder. Ferran Torres puts Barca 1-0 in front. He was part of the quiz that we did earlier, by the way. Ferran Torres, part of the quiz we did earlier, and he's put Barca in front here. What a pass this was. It's a great run. He's definitely onside. Curled run in between the two centre-backs. He rounds the goalkeeper, and it's just a lovely finish. Taps into an empty net. Yeah, too easy. Goalkeeper were in joggers as well. The Santander goalkeepers were in joggers. He's like Gabor Kirai and Speroni from Crystal Palace. Jabba says, no worries, I won't be here on Sunday. And Creed says, my ex is a Scouser and I was obsessed. Scouse women are just different. Scouse women are the best, mate. They're absolutely fantastic. Although, I shouldn't really say that. My missus isn't a Scouse woman. Joe says you've already got 1-0 on the... Well, I have now. Rafinha's just coming on for Barca, so that like compound things for Santander. Welsh Wing. In the Welsh Premier League, there's a huge gap between second bottom and rock bottom. Flint Town United are on 21. Llanelli on 8. Ooh. And Jag says miss goalkeeper hats. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, goalkeepers in Spain... Didn't Canizares nearly always play with a hat? Brady says, here's a question for you, Key, my friend. Which club scored in every single Premier League game during the 2000-2001 season but finished third? Is that Manchester United? The only reason I know that is because Liverpool finished second that season to Arsenal, so I would assume it's Man United. I think that's Man United. They scored in every game but didn't finish. They finished third. They finished behind Liverpool that year, I know they did. Mark Moss, how's it going, Mark? Good to see you. Sam, how's it going? Good to see you. Welsh Ring says, Connor's Key gaining on New Saints, though. Hope they cause a shock. Do you keep... Shell, do you keep tabs on the Welsh Premier? I know you watch a lot of football, and you've spoke Welsh on this channel before, so I was wondering if you maybe keep an eye on the Welsh Premier. You support Carnarvon? My mate used to play for Carnarvon. Yellow kit, isn't it? Yellow and green kit. Yeah, my mate used to play for Carnarvon. Creed Van Crow says Tottenham, Newcastle, I don't know, Norwich. Dion Dublin. Where's the Dion Dublin comment come from? Santander back. Chance for Santander. Why does he not give that off? Oh, that's such a bad decision. There was a huge opportunity there for Santander. That was a massive chance. Oh, Gay. Oh, that's so poor. Ball gets played into Maget Gay, and the overlap there from Sans Mazza. Maget guy, absolutely shocking. He really should have just rolled that to his left-hand side. Club, yeah, I was going to say, certainly not Dion Dublin. On a permo, the home's under the hammer guy. Welsh Wing, I'm a Brighton Ferry fan. Oh, lovely. Is it Brighton or Britain Ferry? Back-to-back wins for Brighton Ferry against Brighton Ferry against Barry and Haverfordwest. Bloody TNS. I've been and seen TNS against Liverpool back in the day. And we've done a live watch-along of Penny Bont on this channel as well. We've done Penny Bont against... Who was it they played? Penny Bont against... Was it Penny Bont against Skendia? Pop says, is this our shell with a new name? It is our shell, yes. It is our shell. She has slightly changed the name, yes. Britain Ferry, yes. Is it actually Britain? Surely it's Brighton. Did you watch the Senegal game? We did, yeah. We did watch the Senegal game. It wasn't a particularly good one, though, was it? It was all right. Like, well, listen, Senegal got the win. It was a really good goal from Mane, but it was a pretty poor watch, wasn't it? Who are the Britons? We are the Britons. We're all Britons and I'm your king. Welsh Ring says, I know we're basically a Crystal Palace at the Welsh Premier. And Jag says, I did a Football Manager save with Holywell Town once, but it was nearly impossible. And Creed says, Welsh Wing supporting your local. We love that. Well, last 20 minutes here. I had a bit of a dilemma. Listen, this is one of the things I need your help with. I am starting to build a Discord community. We've got the link to the Discord community in the description here. If you want to join, please do. It's absolutely fantastic. We talk away from the footy and have a chat about different things, and I'd love to get more people involved in it. If you want to join the Discord, please do get amongst it through the day. We talk about football as breaking news comes through, obviously, but it's just a place for us to talk before the lives and after the lives, if you so choose to. If you want a little chat with all the people who we've built up in the wonderful community here, it's there for you. But we have literally just created it. Jag says, hey, Discord, I'd love to be a part of that. Yeah, mate, get in there. Get in there. We've got people in there every day chatting. It's literally only just been created in the last, week or so, last few days. So it's very, very new. But yeah, get in, get amongst it. I'm in there. I'm talking every day with everyone. We had conversation flowing after the Chelsea-Arsenal game. And plus, we was talking about what people have for tea. People, take pictures of your tea if you like that thing. We was talking about the traitors, house, if you what's on TV, whatever your thing is. DGN 720, hey, how's it going, mate? Good to see you. Lots of love. Welcome to the chat. Brady says the answer was Liverpool, bro. You were close with Man United though, actually. Liverpool finished third in 2001. We didn't finish third in 2001. I'm sure we finished second. Did we not finish? Did we finish third? Oh, we did. Was it the year after where we finished second? 0102. Yeah, always got 0102 we finished second. Oh, that's annoying. Oh, well, hey, there you go. Yeah, it was Liverpool. Welsh Ring says, Glenetley have a new manager, also wondering if they're going to do a Rob Edwards and Wolves. One day or less, I'll join the Discord later. Please do, yeah, mate, please do. Get amongst it. Get involved. If you're new around here and you haven't yet, also click like on the live, subscribe, all that good stuff. Creed says, fuck it, my link's not working. And Shell says, apparently Everton after a striker that plays Morocco. Yeah, Youssef En-Nesyri. He's currently playing for Fenerbahce, Shell. He's got a very good scoring record. He's about 1 in 2, 1 in 2.5. Across Fenerbahce, across Sevilla. Did very well at Sevilla. He's the typical Everton profile of a striker, I guess, in that he's got a little bit of pace, but he's not really quick. He's not slow. He's got a little turn of pace, more so than Beto. Good scoring record. Tall, strong, good in the air. That sort of a striker. Reminds me of an Everton striker, Youssef En-Nesyri. I think he'd be good. But again, he's nearly 29. And that strikes me as a David Moyes signing. You've got the Friedkin group coming in and buying Asnu and Diblin and Roll and Barry. And, these are the types of players they're picking up. They're not, I don't necessarily think, going for Grealishes and more of the older players that maybe David Moyes would like. Welchwing says, was that the year you sort of won the treble under Gerard Houllier? It was. It was the year before. So 2000, 2001, we won 5 trophies. Well, I guess we won the Super Cup and the Charity Shield, which is part of that the year after. Claim for a penalty for Barcelona. You're never going to get that. Yamal goes down in the area. It was never a penalty. Jabba says, reportedly, En-Nesyri is cool on the offer, says he doesn't like cold weather. It's not going to be for him then, is it? Santander, 1-on-1 with a keeper, should pass it off. It's there, it's 1-1. Is it going to count? He's offside. Oh, this one's going to be checked. It's going to be checked. It is going to be checked. Andy says, Beto 100% leaving this month or at the end of the season. I think it is offside, this one, sadly, but Santander got through then. They were 1-on-1 with the keeper. It was a fabulous finish. And I tell you what, do you know what? Oh, he is offside. He's miles off. But when the ball gets played through here, he's got a player in the middle. All he has to do is roll it across to him, and he goes for the shot. Now, I totally back the player in terms of, take the chance, stick it away. Good lad. But can you imagine if you miss that? Such a big game. You've got a player there waiting to your right. All you've got to do is roll it to your right, and it's a tap-in for him. And he went for the shot. Balls on that. Shell says loan with an option to buy for 20 million. Yeah, come over, Youssef. Come over and sample life in Merseyside and see if you like it, mate. You never know. Joe Story says you're counting Super Cups and Community Shields, but you're raging at us having open top bus for Carabao Cup. I wasn't raging at you. I wasn't raging at you at all. That's a lie. I said more power to Newcastle. No, absolutely. You've got to celebrate them. Every one of them. And to be fair, if you're winning a Super Cup or a Charity Shield, then you've probably won something the year before. Wouldn't necessarily have an open-top bus tour for just a Super Cup or just a Charity Shield, but, you know, if you're in there, you've had a good season the year before. Welsh Wing says, was 0001 Gerrard's breakout year? Probably yes. I mean, we could see there was a player before that. I'm not sure if I would count it his breakout year. His breakout year was probably 2002-03. I feel like that was the breakout year for Gerrard, because that was the point where Gerard Houllier said to Sami Hyypiä, listen, you're going to have... What a save that is from the Barca. Oh, unbelievable save from the Santander keeper to keep it 1-0. Top quality, that. Absolutely fantastic. Yamal broke through. He was away. He was one-on-one. He had the first shot. Lewandowski's also come on for Barca. He couldn't get the rebound in. Absolutely phenomenal save from the Santander goalkeeper, Ezquieta. Great double save. What was we saying? Yeah, Gerrard, 2002, 2003, I would have said it. Maybe a year or two later. Because that's when Gerrard said to Sami Hyypiä, listen, I'm going to take the captaincy off you and give it to him because he needs it, because he's going to be unbelievable. Shell says, lovely to see everyone. My bedtime nights. Take care. Love yous. Love you too, Shell. Take it easy. Hope you're feeling better. And yeah, lots of love. See you soon, hopefully. Creators, night, Shell. Sleep tight. Miss Shell. Really missed her. Not been the same without you, Shell, if you've not already gone. Right. Barca knocking it around. Last 10 minutes, trying to close the game out here. I think Santander are going to have to do something very, very special to try and get anything out of this. But they have certainly caused Barca a few little headaches. It's not been an easy one. Here's Rafinha. Down the left-hand side. Balde. Keeps it in. Rafinha. Great ball in. Lewandowski, far post. Couldn't quite get on it. Barca just quickening the play up a little bit now. Three Star says, at this point, I would have an open-top bus parade if Sean Dyche keeps us up. Do you know what? So, can I ask while we've got on the chat? So, tomorrow, I've committed to doing a live where I preview the Premier League games this weekend, right? So, what I would love to do, if it's all right with you lot, what I would love to do is get your take on the Premier League games this weekend. So, I'm going to ask you all in the chat to give me your predictions for the games, and we'll work backwards. I want to get your predictions for each game. So starting off, the last 10 minutes of this game, because it's Racing Santander 0, Barcelona 1. I'll be honest, I can't see Barcelona throwing this away. But I've been wrong before. It has happened. It has been known. I want you to tell me what score or result. You don't have to necessarily give me a score, but give me a result. Brighton against Bournemouth on Monday Night Football. I will be live for that one. Let me know what score you think Brighton against Bournemouth in the chat. Brady says last one. Who was the only player to score in a World Cup final, a European Championship final, and a Champions League final? Oh, World Cup final, European Championship final, and a Champions League final. Oh, I'm struggling with that one. 2-2 Brighton Bournemouth says Jag. 2-2 Creed Van Crow. 2-1 says Graham. That'll be a great game. Most 1 day or less going draw. 3-2 Bournemouth, says Callum. Well, then we've got a mixed bag there now. We've got a couple of people saying away win. Couple saying draw. Well, 3 saying draw. Go on, we'll accept a draw for that one. Most people saying draw. I'm not going to go with your answers, by the way, necessarily. I will put my own spin on it. But I'm just intrigued to see ahead of time. We might not always follow this format, but I'm just intrigued to see ahead of time what everyone thinks. Aston Villa v Everton. Aston Villa v Everton, Sunday, 4:30. I'm live for that one as well. Yamal going down again in the box, claim for the penalty, no chance. Give me your Aston Villa v Everton predictions. 3-star thinks it's going to be 2-1, that one to Bournemouth. Brighton win 3-2, says Jabba. Brighton 1-0, says Ollie Marley. Brighton 1-1, says Andy. Possibly Bournemouth scrape it. It's going to be... This is it. Everyone's saying could be Bournemouth, could be Brighton. I don't think anyone's got a clear idea on that one. Graham says it's going to be 3-0 to Villa. Callum 3-1 Villa. Jag, Villa scoring a touchdown. 1 day or less Villa win. 7-0 Villa, says Jag. God. I think we're pretty unanimous on this one. 2-0 Villa, says 3-star. Creed Van Crow, 1-1. Eric Garcia is coming off here for Barcelona. Ollie Marley, Aston Villa 2, Everton 0. Should go call it a draw, that one then. A bit unambiguous. Jag says maybe I'm biased against Everton. 4-2 Villa, says Brady Hanlon. Alright, fair enough. We'll go with a Villa win there. Next one is Wolves Newcastle. We're live for this one as well. 2 o'clock on Sunday. I'm live for that one. So Wolves Newcastle. What are we saying Wolves Newcastle? Andy says I'm not confident. Jabba, Villa 2, Everton 1, and I'm being optimistic. Listen, Everton have been known to go away and get results at the big teams. Not necessarily that. Again, that sounds Everton is just as big as Villa, but you know what I mean. I think going away to a team that's right up there, you've done quite well. Wolves 2, Newcastle 3, says Ollie. Graham says 2-0 to Newcastle for that one. Newcastle win, says Blonder or less. Newcastle 3, Wolves 0. 3-star says 2-1. Does that mean 2-1 to Wolves? 1-0 Wolves, says Creed Van Crow. Brady, Newcastle 4-1. 2-1 Newcastle, says Jabber. Bit of a mixed bag, that one. Again, bit of a mixed bag. Mixed bag for the Brighton-Bournemouth game. Mixed bag for the Wolves-Newcastle one. A lot of people saying Newcastle maybe more so, but again, you can't really predict that one. Wolves 2, Newcastle 1, says Welshwing. 2-2, Callum. Can't really make our minds up on that one. That's fair enough. Okay. And then we'll go into the Saturday 3 o'clock kickoff. So, Sunderland against Palace. Palace are in a real bad run of form at the minute. Sunderland are straight off the FA Cup win over Everton at... and then he said at Goodison Park then. Sunderland with a win over Everton in the FA Cup, admittedly on penalties. But Sunderland play Palace at the Stadium of Light. Is there going to be a reprieve in that one for Oliver Glasner? Do we think he gets that one going again? Chance! Is he onside? Is he onside? Is he going to count? I think he's offside again. This lad can't stay onside. Manex Lozano, the under 18, the young 18-year-old striker. That's 2 goals Santander have had ruled out due to an offside. He's definitely offside this time. He was offside before. He's 100% offside again, yeah. It wasn't even him that time, to be fair. It wasn't him who was offside. Graham says 2-2 for that one. Sunderland Palace. 0-0 Creed Van Crow. Ollie says Sunderland 0, Palace 1. Sunderland 3-0 Callum. Sunderland taking advantage of the bad form, Jags. Brady, Sunderland 2-0. 1-0 says Jag. Jabba says Sunderland 2-1. 2-0 3-star. And then draw from Welshwing. Andy Vale thinks 2-0 as well, Sunderland. So again, most people seem to be leaning towards Sunderland, but it wouldn't be a surprise maybe. Tottenham against West Ham. Tottenham West Ham. Again, if ever a team needed a win, it's West Ham, isn't it? Nuno Santo. I don't want to go too much into the preview because we'll talk about all this in the live tomorrow, but I want to get your take on it, even if it's just briefly before we end this live, because the Barca game is winding down now. Santander have not thrown the towel in just yet. There's still 2 goals ruled out for offside in the last 10 minutes. Graham says 2-0 for Tottenham. Do we think Spurs have got 2 goals in them? Santander, again, down the left-hand side. They're getting chances in these last few minutes. I'm not ruling out an equaliser here, I'm telling you. Tottenham 5-1, Creed Van Crow. Ollie Marley says 2-2. Andy thinks Tottenham 1, West Ham 3. West Ham did all right in the cup. Was it against... Well, he did all right in the sense it was against QPR, but Tati Castellanos scored, didn't he? The new signing. Jabber, I'm genuinely shocked by Nuno at West Ham. They don't look in any way resolute, do they? That's such a crazy... Yeah. Jag says Tottenham win and take the title of not the worst team in London this season, 2-0. Welsh Wing also fancying a West Ham win, 2-1. Brady, West Ham 3-1. Andy, Brady and Welsh Wing all going for a West Ham away win. Jabba thinks Tottenham 3-1. Okay, again, mixed bag. Fair enough. I'm going to have a real... These predictions and comments are just influencing my thinking, but I've not really settled on my predictions just yet. I'm gonna have a real look at. I'm gonna have a look at the recent results and the recent form, and I'm gonna ferment on these thoughts overnight. Next game is Liverpool-Burnley. Liverpool-Burnley, another Saturday, 3:00. That's another one that we're live for, by the way. 3 p.m. Saturday, Liverpool-Burnley at Anfield. Again, Liverpool continue to remain unbeaten. 9 or 10 games unbeaten we are now. And yet fans just massively not convinced by that run. Still sat 4th in the table. Still feels like we're chasing down Villa and have every chance of maybe even finishing 3rd. The teams just behind us, United, Chelsea, are kind of in a bit of a mess. Feels like maybe the most confident I've been as a Liverpool fan all season that we'll get a result. But I still don't think whatever result it is, it will be enough to satiate our fans. Yeah, it's going to be a typical... It's going to be another game, isn't it? Let's be honest. Burnley are going to come and sit deep and make it frustrating and make it awkward, and they'll play for set pieces and they'll play for counter-attacks, and they're not interested in anything other than a draw. They get a draw at Anfield, they're delighted. So they'll do... And that's no knock at Burnley, because it's exactly what I would do if I was Burnley going to Anfield. So... Yeah, they'll play for a point, they'll frustrate, and I wouldn't be surprised if, as Welsh Weng is saying there, it might well be a 1-0 bore fest, maybe. But most people seem to be going for Liverpool 4-2, Graham 3-0, Liverpool 3, Burnley 1, 2-0 the Reds, 3-1 says Jag, 2-1 Wanderless, Creed 3-0 Liverpool, Andy 3-0 Liverpool, 4-0 Liverpool says 3-star, Wanderless says could see a few silly mistakes that could lead to 1 Burnley goal. And Creed Van Crow says 3-0 Liverpool. Slot Zidane headbutts Parker. Bon anniversaire. Jag says, not our fans, but talking heads in England. Other fans still acting like Liverpool are sat bottom half of the table. Yeah. My lot, basically. Liverpool content creators, my lot. Embarrassing us. Right, yes, okay, Liverpool. Most people going for Liverpool in that one. There's another 3:00 kickoff, which is... Oh, there's 2 more. Fulham. Leeds v Fulham at Ellen Road. If I wasn't a Liverpool fan, that might be the better game to do at 3:00. Leeds-Fulham. Still think Leeds are going to get dragged into that relegation zone, you know. But Leeds-Fulham, what do we think? Get your predictions in the chat. Leeds-Fulham. Jag says, if you ask me a score prediction this year, I'll always say that Canati gives up a goal at every game. Graham says 2-2 for that one. 1-0 to Leeds, Creed Van Crow. Ollie Marley, Leeds 1, Fulham 1. Leeds 2, Fulham 0. Plenty going big on Leeds. Maybe I'm not seeing something with Leeds. I know they did well away at Newcastle, and they've had a little, good run recently, but I still don't see it. 4-1 Fulham, says Brady. That's more my line of thinking. I think Harry Wilson just... He's gonna wipe the floor with him. Jabber says Leeds 2, Fulham 2, Welsh Wing 3-2. High scoring one maybe. And Jag says America saves 2-0 leads with a goal and assist from Aronson. Okay, all right. Again, mixed bag. I'm going to mark that down as a mixed bag in terms of predictions. Leeds, Fulham. Okay, 3 o'clock. Next 3 o'clock. Chelsea, Brentford. Chelsea, Brentford. We're getting down to the nitty gritty now. Chelsea, Brentford. Let me know your thoughts on Chelsea, Brentford. Stamford Bridge. They rested Reece James. They rested Cole Palmer. They rested a few with Liam Racinguistas in the Arsenal game midweek. They have had a major issue, by the way, Chelsea. That's another thing we need to point out, by the way. Chelsea are having major issues with a load of players going down with an illness. Have you heard about this? There's a big bug at Chelsea. Even Liam Racinguistas has been downhill with it. I mean, they're playing in 48 hours. They might be fine. They might have recovered, but they've literally had to do a meeting at Chelsea today discussing the importance of hand washing at the training ground. That's how important it is, because they've had loads of players, including the new manager, go down with an illness, a sickness bug. So if Chelsea, maybe the players who do come back in, it might not be ridiculous to expect that they're a little bit worse for wear. They're a little bit ripe. But a few surprising predictions there, to be honest. Graham saying 3-1, Ollie, Chelsea 3, Brentford 1, Callum 3-1, Brentford, 2-1, Brentford, Chelsea 2-1, Chelsea 1-0. Oh, Santander nearly 1-1, last minute. How are Barcelona nearly throwing this away? Chelsea 3-3, says Welsh Wing. Crazy story, you poison the players. They're all sick of the ownership. Okay, well, again, it's a mixed bag. It feels like there's a few saying Brentford and a few saying Chelsea. No one really going for a draw. Okay, hey, fair enough. And the last, that was the last 3 o'clock. Now we're on to the last game, which is the big one, the Manchester derby. Manchester United against Manchester City. Man United v Man City. First game for Michael Carrick in charge. What do we think? First game for Michael Carrick. There's 30 seconds left here at the Estadio El Sardinero. Barcelona got hold of the ball. I really don't think we're going to see an awful lot left in this one. Barcelona passing it around nicely. City 3-0. United City 3-1. Barca are in down the left-hand side, and they could walk this in. Here's Yamal. Lamine Yamal passes it inside. Oh, they've messed it up. Oh, great play. Yamal backstick, and it's 2-0 Barca. It's 2-0 Barca. Absolutely fantastic finish at the end. And Yamal makes it 2-0 and just adds a little bit of gloss on the end of that finish. Rafinha with the assist. Great goal. Right, so 3-0 United. Sorry, 3-0 City, says Graham. Prince Rupert 3-1 to City. Forest 3 scraggy Arsenal own goals. Did we not do Arsenal? Oh, we didn't do Forest Arsenal. Why have we not done Forest Arsenal? 2-1 United, Man United 1, City 4. Man United 1, City 2. United 3, City 1. Carrick manager bounce. And 3-0 City, 2-2. Again, it's a mixed bag, that one. The Manchester derby. Not many people going for a big City win. And sorry, we didn't do, surprisingly, people saying I'm an absolute Arsenal hater. We didn't do Forest v Arsenal. Forest v Arsenal. Forest v the league leaders. What do you think about Forest v Arsenal? Get that in the chat. Last game we need to predict, and then I will be back tomorrow after I've had a think about it. We'll do a little 5-minute preview on every game. 5-6 minute preview on every game. Tomorrow, alive, before the West Brom v Middlesbrough game. So if you fancy previewing the weekend's football, then get amongst it. 2-0 Arsenal. Graham says Forest to win 2-1. Ollie says Nottingham 1, Arsenal 3, Forest 0, Arsenal 3, Andy. Arsenal 1, Forest 0. It'll be another set-piece goal. Brady, Arsenal 3-1. Forest 1, Arsenal 4, Welsh Wing. Yeah, I think Arsenal wiped the floor with them as well, sadly. I'd love to think otherwise. I really would love to think otherwise, but somehow I think we're talking an Arsenal win again. Jabba says Forest 1, Arsenal 2. I don't know how Forest even scored a goal. And Callum, Forest 0, Arsenal 2. Love the predictions, Key. Looking forward to tomorrow. Well, yeah, listen, I have taken on board what you've said, and I'm going to think about them, and I'm going to have a chat with my old man, because that's usually what I do, is I have a little chat with my old man before the weekend, and we kind of do what I'm going to do tomorrow with you in terms of the live. We just talk through each team and each game and think, well, what do you think about that one? Not been so good recently. So we'll do that tomorrow. We'll make that a regular thing on the channel. Every Friday we'll do our predictions on a live before each Premier League game week. Let's do it. Again, massive thank you before we end the live. I just want to say a massive thank you to our new sponsors, Midnight, who are sponsoring Premier League Dad for the rest of the month. They are absolutely fantastic. If you do want to support the channel, you want to go and get yourself 30 quid in free bets. Again, 18 plus only, gamble responsibly. If you're not into that sort of thing, don't bother. Please don't feel under pressure to do so. But if you do, and you want to support the channel, then you can go and do so by signing up with Midnight. There is a link in the chat. There's also a link in the description. They're an absolutely fantastic bunch of guys, and they are supporting the channel for the rest of this month, maybe beyond, who knows. But it heavily relies on you guys going and trying their stuff as well. But no problem, no pressure if you don't do it. That's absolutely your right to do so. Gamble responsibly, all that good stuff. Really appreciate everyone's help and support as we've crossed the 10k threshold. So a massive, massive thank you to you all. I'm absolutely made up. And I'm looking forward to the 2 lives that we're now going to do tomorrow. We're going to do a Premier League predictions live, and we're also going to do West Brom. West Brom's new manager, by the way. Could they get a new manager bounce? West Brom, the Baggies, against Middlesbrough, who are second in the table, but only have 1 win in their last 6 games. So a huge, huge chance for maybe an upset tomorrow. Welsh Wing says, do you do Super 6 key? I should. I really should. Yeah, I really should. But I haven't. Graham says, see you tomorrow, Key. See you tomorrow, Graham. Jabba says, is that Premier League granddad? Well, I guess it is Premier League granddad. Yeah. He is a granddad. I mean, he looks after me little girl and stuff. He's a lovely guy. Nearly as lovely as me, some would say. But yes, I'll be having a chat with him. I might even bring his predictions. We'll make that a thing as part of it. What's your predictions, Premier League granddad? Right. I am off for the night. Listen, I really appreciate everyone. Thanks again so much. I will be back tomorrow for our predictions live and our West Brom v Borough live. Take it easy. Have a lovely, lovely Thursday night, and I'll see you all tomorrow. See you soon. Take it easy.